is Wendy Neal. Let's see, Mark and Jim Bob, just curious, did you get a chance to look at Wendy's video?
Yep. Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay, good. The thing that we have here that she really did want to stress was that this is a user-managed solution. This is something that anybody with SharePoint designer and site manager skills can actually do, which I thought was pretty interesting. Jim Bob, you're a user-managed solution guy. What did you think about this as you were looking at it?
I love the fact that when she starts off, if you watch the video, she starts off talking about who her audience is, and I think that was very important for her to identify. I think that's a great thing. One thing that I really liked about it is that she said, I'm not a client-side developer. I'm a .NET developer, and so I placed the limit on myself to do all of this front end. And having done so, she's come up with a very nice solution. And everything is very elegant. Everything works the way it's supposed to work. And I was very impressed with what she did, and liked the fact that she limited herself to something that someone who only has front end access to work with could implement this and put it into practice.
Mark, I want to remind you that when we first came to this solution, there really weren't any feeds in it at all, right? If you remember when you first looked at it.
Yeah.
So I put some in here just so we'd have something to work with. So I'm going to view all feeds so we could see what she's doing there. Hold on just a second. There we go. So we've got 2 feeds now, one from the New York Times and one from there. Mark, what do you think about this interface that's showing all this here?
Well, I think it goes back to our discussion about how you probably like this interface more than the Metro interface. For me, I prefer a more visual interface, and so it's not something that I, at first glance, will appreciate all that much. I understand within a week what she's been able to do, especially as it appeals to users, is very good.
The thing that we can look at here to make it a pseudo interface, Jim Bob, isn't there some kind of in a list mechanism a view that we can set up that actually puts it in little boxes automatically as part of the SharePoint interface? It's called the newspaper read or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So there is that can be done as well.
Yeah. So we've got that. So this is actually pulling in and displaying a lot here. You know what I haven't seen in any of the solutions, which would be interesting if we have this much content, and we will, by the way, with that many articles, is that unlimited scroll, where you can either click to view more down at the bottom, or it actually does, like in Facebook fashion, it actually does unlimited scroll. And again, 1 week of functionality, but I still think
that the best way to solve that, Mark, is to have some kind of filtering mechanism by how many likes, or if an article's been voted up, or somehow it's doing some algorithm to determine what I'd like to see over something I didn't. And we haven't seen that in any of the solutions, but I think it can be done.
Okay, good. Let's see how else she's got here. We've done the view all feeds. Let's go to edit feeds. When I first saw this, I thought, now this is pretty cool. It's using the basic functionality of SharePoint, but what it's doing is inline. It's allowing me to edit the information, even to the point of deleting it or ordering it. So if I wanted to put this in a different order, I could do that. Jim Bob, what do you think of that?
I like that too, and in her demo too, she the category field is available, and you can add in categories, which she's pulling from the term store. Which there they are. So that gives you the ability to pull them in from the term store, which I thought was a great feature for her to add in. And then that's where things are going to show up on your left side over here, where she has the data view web part with the grouping. And then being able to order within a category also was very nice. One thing I didn't see is if you could have multiple categories for one thing. That might be a nice feature as well, because a lot of times you're going to have some overlap, some things that may be kind of power user and dev at the same time. Can you add more than one?
It doesn't seem like it wiped it out. Yeah. Right. Mark, what do you think?
I like how you can order it. I like the categories, but I think she's missing a level. I think there needs to be a feed level where you could see how many articles are in the SharePoint community, the New York Times community, and then how many haven't been read. because you can imagine if you've got 25 feeds here, showing it on one screen, the previous screen that you showed before, it could get pretty messy pretty fast, and I won't be able to find the article that's relevant to me just simply because there's hundreds and hundreds of articles.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But if it was categorized by, if you look on the left-hand side navigation, which I like better than the right-hand, you can see New York Times homepage. Well, there should be a little number or a red dot there saying how many I haven't read, and I could just click on that, and it'll take. So I guess there is higher level navigation. So I'll take that point back. If you can, yeah, okay. So that's not bad. And then she's got an expanded view. Okay, so I take back the higher level navigation. She has it here, but I still would want to see a number of showing me how many I've actually viewed or not viewed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The thing that sticks with me when we're doing the edit feeds here is, again, realizing that we are working with SharePoint, and I think this is a very elegant solution at this level for this screen, utilizing what is in SharePoint and really making it work for her. So I really like the edit portion of this. When we go to import, we have over on the right-hand side files here, so we could choose a file. We can do that kind of stuff. Let's do the file here and see what happens here. I'm not sure if it will read this file. This is one that Stefan gave us here, and it had characters in it, so I'll ignore that. That's not her problem. That's mine just on the import there. So you can see that that was written into it. You've got to subscribe. What are we subscribing to here? This is how we can add a new blog to it, and that's where the New York Times came from. I cut and pasted in that. Any comments on
Mark.
that, Jimbo? Yep.
Yeah, Mark. Can you import Duvall's OPML that that we exported?
I thought that's what I just did. We did Stefan's.
Yeah, but down there. We did Stefan's. Yeah. How about the EUSP sites for SharePoint .xml that you have down there? Can you let's
it's
see
in the downloads.
Okay, yeah, let's test Duvall's OPML export and see if it works.
Okay, let's look at the dates then. EUSP sites for SharePoint. Good. And it is trying.
Right.
So as this is setting up, there we go. Processing, please wait. I like that functionality. But I think I am impressed with this solution because of the out-of-the-box functionality. It's for somebody to be able to come in and do this as a site manager, to me that means a lot. And as we're waiting for this to load, look, the following pages have become unresponsive. Oh, that
must
hurt.
have been a big one.
I'm going to wait. But
so we may have taxed it a little bit with the size of that file,
okay.
But just from the video, one of the things that I liked that she had in there is that it immediately takes you to the edit screen, so that like Marcus pointed out over and over again, all I want to do is put in the RSS feed. Put in the RSS feed and have it pull all that other data for me. Once it does that, it throws you into the edit screen. Then you can say, okay, well, they didn't really name this, something that's going to help me in my big list of feeds because it was specific to their site. So I want to be able to change that title. And so those edits and then being able to tag it throws you directly into the edit screen for those, or you just save it as it is, right? So those were nice features that she added in as well. I think I may have killed her.
Hold on, I think I can get it back. Let me know if this comes back up for you. There we go. Is there site? Oh, look, it did pull them all in.
Yeah, it actually has the data. Right.
Yeah, okay. Let's round it up here on this one, Jim Bob. I'll give you.
Then what it does is
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's I like what she's done here. The same stuff we've seen before. One thing I don't see is the search. I don't know if she had that in there. Obviously, being able to see the things that I haven't read. those types of filters. I know there were several things that she said this was just going to be too difficult to do out of the box in the client side. Some of those things may be possible, but when you're working with the client side, there are challenges that make things kind of difficult. And I appreciate just from the own standards she set for herself that it was all going to be client side, that she didn't crack open Visual Studio, and she certainly could have and gone and solved some of those things. But I like the interface that she's done. I think she's done a good job of getting all the basics in there. Yeah, there are a lot of nice to haves that we'd like to have from the Metro view versus the images versus all of those things. But just from the standard, pull in a feed, update the feed, export the feed, view it and edit it, all of those types of things are there, and it's all done out of the box. I think she did a great job.
Great, thank you. Mark, you get the last say on this one.
Yeah, so my first comment is she did a better job than Google did with their first version of Google Reader. I think,
Amen.
I think she did an adequate job there. Certainly, given her own restrictions, I think she's done a fantastic job. For me, the interface isn't appealing to me, but I like the fact that she's got left-hand navigation. You could sort by the different feeds that are coming in. So overall, I thought she did a great job.